Hey, before you watch this thing, hit subscribe, would you? Hello, it's me, Neal Brennan. This is Blocks Podcast. We always have guests, right? Some are a little more illustrious than others. I'm going to put us in a secret honey bun category. Aren't we kind of secret honey buns, you and I?
Yes, we are, Neal. I didn't want to bring it up, but we are.
No, we're secret honey buns, and I don't know why I look like I'm swimming.
Well, am I? You know, I want my stomach to look nice for you.
We're never going to be in that shot. I'm going to take this baby off. Okay. Whew. I fell in love with this woman 5 years ago on Instagram, and then Netflix fell in love with you, and they gave you a special called I'm Every Woman, and it was you're like the White Ail Wong. That's how I see you. Exploded on Netflix, and then she has a book called What in the World, and she's got a sitcom coming on Netflix called Leanne. Ladies and gentlemen, Leanne Morgan is here. Can you believe it?
Neal, my angel.
I don't know what it is about you and I, but there's just something. Immediately, you came to we met in Montreal 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. You came to my show, which nobody ever does. We don't go to each other's shows. And you came to the show, and you're just, I get it.
You were my favorite. You were brilliant and my favorite. And then we kissed in the street. I think I kissed you on the mouth. I don't know.
So you were, all right, well, that's your, yeah. No, we just got it.
Chemistry.
We have it. You can't fake it, guys.
We bonded.
You can't fake it. Look at that wide shot. We're both staring at ourselves.
I know, and I felt good about this.
This
Hollywood
feel good.
Stuff, Neal.
We had a conversation on the phone about 6 or 8 weeks ago. Just a general, what is happening with Hollywood? Where'd you end up?
I'm okay, and I think I'm sad. I didn't know that I was going to get in a deep depression when this stopped. I don't think I'm going to get in a deep depression. But I came out here, I was scared to death of L.A. I saw a lot of things, Neal, that were frightening. Then because I'm from Tennessee, and we don't have all that. And then the fires.
Right.
I was evacuated during the fires. And then I was doing a show in Palm Springs, and the house that I'm renting got broken into by acrobatic men from another country, is what they tell me. And they got on each other's shoulders and shimmied up the side of this sheet, stucco, and they got it on film. But they didn't take anything because I don't have anything out here. I don't have valuables out here. They took some yeast infection medicine.
Where are your valuables? Just out of in case they want to drive to Louisville or wherever where's your good stuff?
Where's my what?
Your good stuff, your valuables. Where could they find your valuables?
I live in Knoxville, Tennessee. That's where I've raised my children.
Great. And
I've been out here for 7 months. I rented a beautiful home in Studio City. Mm-hmm. I had a beautiful view of, Hollywood stuff. And but when I first got in there, I thought, what have I done? It was frightening. I don't know.
What have you? Okay, but all right. Here's what I relate to you about, and what I just inherently like about you is, without even knowing your story, because by the time I saw you were in your late 40s, right?
Honey, early 50s.
Early 50s.
In Montreal, yes.
No, but I'm saying on Instagram or whatever.
Yeah.
5 years ago.
Probably, yeah.
So it's you're very easy to root for, and then once I read your backstory, it's like exactly what I thought it was. You were selling jewelry?
Yes, that was over 25 years ago, but yes, after I graduated from the University of Tennessee, my husband moved me to the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains, bought a used mobile home business. I had my first baby, Charlie, and he's now 31 years old. I wanted to nurse him, stay at home.
Yeah.
But we needed money, and I started selling jewelry, like women sell Tupperware and Mary Kay. Mm-hmm. And I was funny.
Yeah.
And I was. And I would get up, I was supposed to be talking about jewelry, and I would talk about, I started really some of my first material, developing my first 45 in women's living rooms. They thought I was funny. They booked me a year in advance. The company started noticing, asked me to speak at their big things.
So they would book you just a lady's house, and she'd bring neighbors.
Yeah, and nobody wants to go to those things.
No.
Everybody's like, oh, crap, Kathy's having a cabbie party. We've all got to go and buy something. I think that it started out like that, but women thought I was funny, and they were like, "You got to hear her."
What's
And so
funny
they
is
would
you
book
posted
more
a
and more.
photo. I'm going to be all over the place. You posted a photo from when you were in college, and you've mentioned, I think, in your act about being boy crazy.
Oh yeah,
And
I kind of still am.
yeah, what is that? Because you're very comfortable with your femininity,
Mm-hmm.
and you appreciate men's masculinity. Like me and my girlfriend, we're talking about that. It's like a thing that we both admire about you.
Thank you, my darling.
Yes, but what I'm curious about is like, it's sort of old fashioned, right?
It is. It sure is out here. But I've got a son. I've got 2 grandsons. I've got my husband. I love men.
Yeah.
We need men. I mean, now, things have changed for me and I've got earning potential, but I didn't for a long time. And Chuck Morgan has taken care of me so that I could have these babies and tend to them. And also, like, I've said this before, if there's a raccoon in a garbage can and, I'm not going out there to get it.
Yeah.
I need a man. I love men. I've always had men as friends. In high school growing up, I mean, I only graduated 42 people, and we all went to church and school together, but they were my good friends. I always enjoyed boys. I think they're fun.
Yeah.
I think men are fun.
Yeah, we're entertaining.
Yes. And I've got this huge crew on this sitcom, and I love all of them.
Yeah.
I mean, I have, they want, sometimes they'll have themes about women empowerment and all that, and I'm for that.
Yeah.
But I want those men to know we need y'all. I want y'all to know that. I mean, we do. We need men.
Do you find yourself like taking a tactical route if you're in an argument with, is Chuck Morgan?
Yes, it's Chuck Morgan.
Thanks, sir. How do you do? So it's Chuck Morgan. Do you find yourself thinking about gender stuff in a tactical way? Or is it just like, well, I don't know. I mean, do you know what I mean? Like,
No,
do
what
you
do you
think of
mean?
it from you are a feminist in that, like, you love women, you succeeded as a woman, but you also respect, you're not sacrificing your feelings for women about your feelings for men.
Right.
And I guess it's like, do you have to think about it, or is this natural?
It's just natural to me.
Yeah. It's just
but Neal, I'm 59 years old.
Yeah.
I think I'm from that old school where we flirted.
Yeah.
Like I've got daughters. My
You
youngest.
flirted with me in the photo, the Instagram from college. You flirted with me. Will, show the photo. It's real, like, oh, okay. I got it once I saw it.
Well, and I flirted with you in Montreal in a biblical way. I mean,
Kiss me on the mouth, apparently. Okay. Well, that's one of the things I love about you.
Thank you, my darling.
Yeah. And what did you think was going to happen to you? Let's say 20 years ago. So at this point, are you doing stand-up?
Oh, yeah. I was doing, all right, after the jewelry, then my husband sold that business. We moved to San Antonio, Texas.
He sold the mobile home business.
Mm-hmm. And, well, his dad took it over. He went to work for a big, large Warren Buffett company, manufactured housing company, Berkshire Hathaway, and was over South Texas. And is still an executive with them. But anyway, he moved us to San Antonio, and I did open mic one time at the River Center. Did you ever work the River Center in the mall?
No, I've heard of it, though.
Oh.
Everything it sounds like?
Oh, it was rough.
Yep.
It was rough. It was in the mall. Mm-hmm. That'll tell you. How'd you do? Good. But I'd been in front of those women, my demographic. I'd been killing, It
Did
really
you have
helped
a
me.
mic at the jewelry
I
things?
just stood up in people's living rooms.
Great.
And, they'd put a dip out and a brownie.
Uh-huh.
We'd have I'd schlep all that jewelry out and had a ball. We had a ball.
Did How Hard You Kill reflect in how much you sold?
Yes. But also, more importantly, I would book more parties. That was a big thing. You wanted to book more parties to stay busy. So I stayed really busy.
Did they give you an upfront fee for the parties? Or it was just...
No. You make, I can't even remember what it was, a large percentage of what you sold at those parties. And I sold, it was good money, for a little mama in the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains. And then I was pregnant with my second baby and was still selling it. By that third baby, I couldn't be schlepping all that anymore. But, okay, so we moved to San Antonio. My kids were 3, 5, and 7. And I had worked Zanies in Nashville, open for Billy Gardell.
Mm-hmm.
But I had done little things around trying to, like I'd do the luncheon at the Rotary or something, drop my babies off at preschool. I did whatever I could to get on stage.
15 minutes.
20, the first time I ever did what I thought was stand-up, I did 45 because I didn't know any better. I didn't know what y'all were doing out here. People get up and do a, 10-minute set. Yeah. Oh, and this little man in a sandwich shop in Morristown, Tennessee said, I have bands that come into my sandwich shop and they play and they make the money at the door. I make the money off the beer and sandwiches. Do you want to do stand-up? And I went, yes. And I did 45 the first time I ever really did it. And I'm sure it sucked. And then after that, I went to Zanies. Brian Dorfman let me come to Zanies. But anyway, then Austin, Cap City Comedy Club in San Antonio, I would drive back and forth, and they believed in me, and that moved me to headliner. Like I featured maybe 4 or 5 times.
And then you had a decent 50, 55? I mean,
I
whatever.
think I did. I think,
You did. It's not against the, it doesn't sound like you stole or did anything wrong.
Well, in that first 45 I got my first television development deal with ABC and Warner Brothers. And it didn't make it. But that I was I had laid out pretty much a sitcom in that first 45 minutes, and Hollywood was kind of coming after me then. But nothing happened, and then I'd flail around. But
here's my question. It seems like you kind of had a hunch about yourself.
I did. At 9 or 10 years old, Neal, I thought.
And did you think 10 years ago, boy, this is taking a long time?
Yeah, and I was just about to quit. I was getting really discouraged for the first time in 25 years of doing stand-up. I cried to Chuck Morgan one night at dinner, and I said, I don't think anything's going to happen. I'm exhausted. I was working a lot, but it was horrible gigs, and I wasn't going anywhere to do anything. Oh, in their early 50s. I'm 59, so 20s out of college. And I said, I knew that my first child had gotten married. I knew that he wanted to have babies. I said, I'll just be grandmama, because in the South, when we have a grandbaby, we, put on a house dress and start cooking pinto beans. So I thought, I'll just tend to that baby, and I'm going to let this go. And Chuck said, you're crazy. Don't say that. And so I did the best thing I've ever done in my life. I hired 2 young guys to do my social media.
Yep.
And they put out one video, and I went viral. That video went viral. People started looking for me, what else I had done. I had done a dry bar special.
Oh, had you?
Yes. Okay. I don't want you to ever watch it.
I won't.
It's on Hulu. I don't even know how it got on Hulu. And I've got a terrible hair color. Do not watch it. I don't know. Unfortunate Gene with a wedge. I just really wish you wouldn't. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I think it's done well on Hulu. But anyway, from that, I just was getting terrible gigs and nothing was happening. I couldn't sell a ticket. Like the Improvs would have me in Florida and they go, we love her. She doesn't get drunk and fight in the parking lot, but we don't want her back. She can't sell tickets. And then I went viral. Overnight, clubs all over the United States started calling saying, can she do, I started out doing one-nighters. This was like 53, 54 years old. And I was going all over, selling out. And then, I couldn't get arrested, Neal, for 20 years. I was doing okay. If something had come along, to Hollywood deals, I wouldn't make it. Never got invited to Montreal, but 2 times. Aspen never had me. Comedy Central, I would audition at stuff in Austin because that was a good club.
There really was a bias against people from the South. I can tell you.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, it's because I remember Theo would complain about it, and Nate Bargatze would complain, rightly so. It was just sort of bumpkin-y. And even Jeff and Larry the Cable and Ron and those guys, it was kind of
I remember
those
their
guys
roast.
Are fucking crushing. Mm-hmm. But it was
in a private plane.
Yeah.
I remember on Comedy Central people making fun of them.
Yeah.
And they were on top of the world.
Yeah.
But put on top of that, I was a woman in a kitten heel with a capri with the birds on it, with a bob talking about going to Weight Watchers. I was really not cool. I was not edgy. They just did not want anything to do with me.
And do you feel so? It was. What did your inner monologue sound like? The like, you know what, sweetie, you were kind of right. You are winning. You got a winning spirit. Like, what did it sound like? Were you always kind, or did you ever turn on yourself?
No. I honestly thought there's a bunch of me out there that would get what I'm talking about. How can I get to them? I didn't know how to get to them.
Well, that's how when I saw you, I was like, oh, this is going to destroy. Even with Nate and Theo, I was like, these guys are going to, once they get ignition, I knew it was just like off to the races. So when I saw you two, I was like, I know, I'm not even from, and I know that your special is called I'm Every Woman. It's like, yeah, and that's, that seems like it would be something to like, oh, are you every woman? But then you watch it, you're like, oh, yep, you know what? You are. And so, yeah, you were just like nice to yourself.
I was, and I always believed in myself until my early 50s when I had just had all I could take and I was down. But I would have little Hollywood things come along and they wouldn't make it, but it would give me enough to think, okay, if they think I can do something, I'm doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And I always had work. I didn't have, I couldn't go out and do comedy club after comedy club every week because I wanted to raise my own children. But I just got on stage wherever I could. I did a lot of little private corporate things that were not fun, but it kept me on stage. But I got to raise these children. But always in my mind, I thought, I'm going to Hollywood. I am.
This is an ad by BetterHelp. Hi, I'm Neal Brennan. I believe in therapy. How many times do I need to tell you to use BetterHelp? Maybe this is the week where you're finally like, okay, you've reached your breaking point and you're like, I need a little bit of help. You go on any of the social medias and it's like cold plunges and gratitude journals and screen detoxes and like, you don't know what works for you. It's never been harder to figure out what you actually want. And one of the best ways to find out what you actually want and actually feel and actually need is therapy. That's where BetterHelp comes in. You use trusted sources and talking to live therapists to get you personalized recommendations and help you break through the noise of your life and your thoughts. And a lot of them aren't even your thoughts. They're just sort of, you catch them. I've been to so much therapy. It's insane. Again, when I started, I wasn't there for trauma. I was just unhappy with a few things in my life back in the 1900s, but really kind of changed my life. BetterHelp has over 30,000 therapists. It's the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally, and it works with an App Store rating of 4.9 out of 5 based on over 1.7 million client reviews. It's convenient too. You can join a session with a therapist at the click of a button, helping you fit therapy into your busy life. Plus, switch therapists at any time. Here's the call to action. As the largest online therapy provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. Talk it out with BetterHelp. My listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/NEAL. That's BetterHelp.com/NEAL. Is this the week? Hey, as a guy, when girls say, I haven't washed my hair, and you're like, that's kind of scummy, and you don't understand it, and it actually doesn't smell good. This isn't about women's hair, guys. I don't want to make this. It's about a new hair cleaning product called Modern Mammals, which sounds like an album or a band. It's not. It's a hair cleaning product. So the Modern Mammals, they sent me a one, good packaging. Here's the thing. The point I was trying to make is women don't wash their hair because when you wash your hair, all the oil leaves it, right? So it's kind of lifeless and dull. Oil is what makes hair look good. That's why we basically the way we do it is you strip it and then it's just going to grind. Then you have to put stuff in it to make it do what you want. If you don't shampoo it, you don't have to put others. My point is Modern Mammals keeps the natural oils. You also don't have to leave it in the shower for 3 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever you know. You just boop in and you boop it out. And I will say this, I can work my hair easier with Modern Mammals because there's more oil in it and natural oils, greasy, not grease, we used to call it grease. And it smells legitimately excellent. So like my girl noticed, like, what's that smell? And I was like, what's that smell? I lowered my glasses. Modern Mammals. Go to modernmammals.com right now to get it. It's legitimately good. I don't know what else to say. What do you want me to say? Yeah, that's your first block is as a kid and teen wanting to go to Hollywood.
And I remember feeling like something wrong with me because nobody else in my little bitty town I was talking about going to Hollywood. And then, so as a child, I would think, is something wrong with me? Am I crazy? Because I'd say to my classmates and stuff, do you want to go to Hollywood? And they were like, no. And, but
I had the same experience. I'd be like, don't you want to be famous? And they're like, what? You're like, yeah, you're famous. And then, I've told the story before, and then I moved to New York and I met a guy and I was like, didn't you like imagine a camera crew following you around? And he's like, absolutely. And it was Dave Chappelle. It was like, I don't know if I'm sure it's something bad, but you need entertainers or not, guys.
Right.
Hello, there's your close-up.
Hello.
I'm over here.
Oh. Well, and let me tell you, I heard Steve Harvey say one time that I just saw a clip of him saying that as a child, at like 10 years old, his teacher said, I want you all to come up and say what you want to be when you grow up. And he said,
I told everybody at 10 years old I was going to be on TV.
And she made fun of him. And he said, I knew she was wrong. And as a child, he said, I feel like God put that in my imagination. And that's how I feel. And I just did a podcast with Oprah. She felt the same way. She went through the same thing. She said, Leanne, I knew from the time I was little bitty, something's bigger coming.
Yeah.
I'm made for something bigger. But then I, think, am I egotistical?
Yeah.
What am I doing? And then I think, am I like one of those kids on American Idol that think they can sing? I don't want to be like that either. So, yeah, I had wrestling in my mind.
Did you have wrestling in your mind? It's a good title for something. Did you like make your parents drive you to places or anything?
No, honey.
Okay.
Never got to do any of that. We were in the middle of nowhere farming people. I always wanted to take tap. There was nowhere to take tap. If people ask
Let her
you,
take tap.
if there's anybody that comments and says that accent's not real, I want to say right now, yes, it is. I'm from farming people, town of 500 people outside of Nashville, Tennessee, on the Kentucky-Tennessee border.
Too poor to tap. Pretty poor.
It was just my parents had a business and nobody had time to take me to tap.
Yeah.
Then I projected that onto my children. It made them all take all kinds of things because I didn't get to do any of that.
So you have this suspicion, but again, are you sweeter than most people from where you're from, or is everybody around the same amount of sweet?
I think people are sweet in the South. I really do.
Yeah.
I have a really sweet mama, and I think I take a lot after her, and I do think I'm sweet. I think I've got some other horrible flaws, but I'm not a butthole, Neal. I don't want to be mean to anybody.
Is because it seems like you have. We can all see you have the option to not be sweet, and then you go, no, I'm gonna be sweet, and that's like the fun of it. It's like we can hear you. We can hear what you mean.
Oh,
through the sweetness. That's like the trick, I think, if I may say. Was it tested? What makes you unsweet? Did you love being a mom?
Loved it. Loved being a grandmama. Would have had more children. Chuck Morgan was worried about money. Mm-hmm. I would have had. I wanted 4. I loved it. I loved nursing. Do what?
I have
3, and a boy and 2 girls, and I would have nursed them. I was like one of those kumbaya mamas. I could have been, like in an African tribe and raised my children with other women while we wash pots. I mean, and I sleep in the bed with everybody. I am a very kumbaya mama.
Yeah.
And I put them first. And through all this in my career, and I'll just say I did. I put them first, and I have more people out here say, oh my gosh, Leanne, you got to have both. I mean, I've gotten to do both because I did. I stayed in Knoxville and I got to raise these precious children and they turned out well.
I've seen
and
videos.
They're sweet and they're not buttholes. And I just enjoyed that. But I got my degree in child and family studies, crisis intervention counseling. So I always felt like, I did some things, I made some mistakes, but I think I raised some precious children.
This is a very broad question. How do you feel about daycare? Because me and my girl Lucy talk about this a lot, and obviously America is what it is, but man, imagining dropping off a 6-month-old at daycare or a 1-year-old, it's like, that must be
gut-wrenching. And my daughter-in-law has had to do it. She likes to work and she's got a good career, but they needed the money. I mean, they need to, and my grandbabies have gone to daycare, and it did hurt me because I didn't have to go. Chuck Morgan is a workaholic, and I was able to, he provided well, and I did without, but I understand they needed two incomes.
I mean, it's, but man, if having raised the kids the way you did, like the idea of daycare, obviously it's a privilege and we're lucky to be in that position, but it's so crazy that millions and hundreds of millions of kids are in daycare.
I know. And I think mine have done well. And we've all gotten hand, foot, mouth. Lord, every time they go to daycare, we all go through a stomach bug. Just wait till I go home tomorrow. I'll have a stomach bug by Wednesday because I have to kiss them in the mouth. But they know sign language when they go moo, when they want to eat more. I mean, I want to bawl my eyes out. And then I also feel guilty, Neal, because if I were really a country grandmama, I would have not done all this and tended to those babies and stayed home with them. But Chuck Morgan's saying they need your money worse than they need that, Leanne. You need to help these children for future and be able to put them all through college and do all that.
I think we're there. I think you got it. Right. A
Yeah.
couple more road dates. I've seen your road dates. I think we're pretty open to 538 or whatever they're called. All right. So you felt, so you were a bit of, not even an outsider. You just wanted to, you had dreams, mama.
I did. I dreamed big. I still dream big, but I always want to be one of the cool kids like you, Neal. And I may have told you that in the streets of Montreal.
You did before you had your way with my mouth. Okay, so then you go to University of Tennessee. Mm-hmm. What do you think's going to happen then?
I followed my high school boyfriend. I had no intention of. This sounds psycho. I had no intention of graduating. I thought my parents said either the military or college. And I was like, I'm too sissy to be in the military. And I dated my high school boyfriend, and everybody got married right out of high school in this rural town. Mm-hmm. And I thought, because in my mind, this is crazy. I was always thinking Hollywood, but at the same time, I'd been raised around all that. And I thought, well, I'll marry and have a bunch of kids and we can raise our own tobacco. Well, he was smart and wanted to go to college and went to UT. I followed him there. I nagged him because he was getting drunk and singing Rick James and stuff. And I nagged him. Yeah. I nagged him. He broke up with me, and I flailed around. At UT. But let me tell you that I went to this little bitty country school where it was Future Farmers of America, home ec, very few college preps.
At UT?
No, at my little high school.
Got it.
Then when I got to UT, and you have to take that test at orientation, I don't know how they didn't go. Just, girl, you can mop, but you're not going to be able to stay. But anyway, I was really not prepared to go to a large university, and I that's one of the things that I felt very outsider because God put me with a bunch of country club, private school girls who were smart, who had gone to private school. I roomed with all these girls. They would kind of make fun of me. I mean, it was...
Were you prettier than them?
I don't know about that, Neal. I mean,
were
I
you
was
in
cute.
the same league?
Yeah. Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Did they like that or not?
Maybe that was what was... I don't know. I think I had charisma. I do think that. And
Hello.
And they did steal my clothes and wear them because I went through the whole Bananarama, Madonna. I was all in that. Mm-hmm. They were in preppy pink and green and lines and
this is
tigers
81,
on their
82,
belts.
82? 81, 82, 83?
83.
83, yeah.
And I was, in Guess jeans,
Chips.
overalls.
You were watching Chips every Friday
I don't know
night?
if I was watching Chips.
You were watching the Dukes of Hazzard.
I mean, I'm not.
I guess.
I mean, kind of not.
I mean, I guess
you're from
it.
I don't like truck movies and cars going
All right.
fast.
Okay.
I was watching Sweet 16 and Breakfast Club, and
Okay.
I was doing all that.
Fair enough. Okay, here's a question. Do you think that what you described as everybody from your town getting married right out of high school, is there something to be said for it?
I mean,
if it's almost like arranged marriage in a weird way, or like, if it works, it kind of works. It works well enough.
It does work well enough, and you got to think about these families were all farming families, so these, grew up together, and then they, now you got two big farms.
It's just about land.
Sounds like Yellowstone, but it is. It's a lot of farming families and all that. And so, yeah, a lot of people, and had a bunch of kids, and they're doing fine.
Yeah.
I went to my class reunion. Everybody was doing well. Nobody was in jail. We've lost a few, but I mean, people were tickled and still with their spouses and all that.
And they didn't seem any better or worse off than people
No.
that moved and got this and did all the stuff.
No.
Yeah, that's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fun. And I tell you, being out here, Neal, I didn't realize, when I tell people I have a 31-year-old and I'm a grandmother, people look at me like, did you squat in a field in the mountains at 14 and have a baby? But I was 27 when I had my first baby. That seemed normal to me.
That's probably
I had a
late.
lot of eggs.
You had so many eggs. I mean, everyone watching and even listening to this can tell she's what they call a fertile myrtle.
Was very fertile.
Of course. But yeah, but that's 27's late for a kid, probably where you're from, right?
Probably about average, really.
Okay.
I mean, my parents had them younger than that, like 21. But yeah, 26, 27.
Yeah, it's nothing crazy.
I didn't think it was crazy, but out here people go, what?
Well, out here you got to freeze stuff. I mean, there's a whole process.
Everybody's freezing.
Everybody's freezing.
They're all freezing.
And then they start when they're 4, and it's like, what do you? And then they it's hard.
It's very hard. I've noticed a lot of people going through that.
Do they? What do you think? Do you just think like, oh, honey?
I understand the ambition.
Yeah.
And women want to go and do.
Yes.
And I had that ambition, but I thought, I want those babies first. I got to have those babies. And then, when that television deal came, by the first one that I had, that was the big, pretty big, I thought, mine were probably in elementary and middle school. And it didn't make it, but I look back on that and I think that was God's protection that, if they'd have come out here, or I remember them saying to me, you'll need to move out here and not bring your family because it'll get canceled probably. So it's, more likely for you to win the lottery for it to make it. And when I look back on that, I think I couldn't have lived away from my children, not raised my own children, even for a year. I've been away from everybody and they're grown. They don't even need me, and this has been hard. So I'm glad it didn't make it then. And I'm glad I got to go in and stay in Knoxville, have my babies, talk about, things that are really relatable to people that's made me successful now. Because
all of your
talk
material is age appropriate. It really is like you children and they're adult, and I have big panties and all the
menopause.
Yeah, I have menopause and parent. I'm sure you got you got itches and you got. I feel like there are many drug commercials that apply to you.
Pepsid. I would love to do sometimes I have the GERD on the road.
Sure.
You know how it is, Neal.
Do I? I literally ChatGPT'd GERD natural remedies within the last week. Okay, and then you sort of, how did you mentioned rejection being God's protection. Were you always in touch with that? Or did it feel like
it felt
personal,
like miserable and horrible at the time? I think I went into a clinical depression after that first big rodeo, because that was my first one. I didn't know how Hollywood worked. And when they called one day and said, it's over, it's not happening, we now have reality TV. It was the first writer strike. That ended that one. And I took to the bed, and Chuck bought me a puppy, thinking that would make me feel better, and that puppy was from heaven. But
talk to me about your bed game. What were you doing? What was it? All 24 hours? What was it?
No, but I still had children to raise. But
Okay.
no, I got when you get depressed and everything looks gray.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I couldn't get booked. Nobody cared. It was just a bad time. I went from, newspaper articles and Leanne's got this deal with ABC and Warner
Yep.
Brothers, blah, 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 Tom Warner.
Yep.
To it's over, and then could not get arrested for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
Bad, like not getting many gigs. Then got another deal with Matt Williams that created Roseanne and Home Improvement. Went through all that with TV Land and Nick at Night. Then they go, you know what? She's too traditional. Meaning a man and a woman and children. That's not fun, which I get. That was, kind of boring. And
It only
then,
applies to like 95% of the country, but it's a little traditional. What? Okay, so and did you? If clinical depression, did you take it personally? This is about me.
Yes.
What's your negative thing about yourself?
yeah, that it's
I am too traditional.
I'm too traditional, or they don't want me. I'm not good enough. I'm not, I'm not edgy. I'm not this. I'm not that. Yeah, just
what
that
kept
kind
you
of
going?
stuff.
What was it? Was it?
Honey, I don't know. I feel like I pray, Neal, and I swear I would pray about it, and I feel like God did not shut that door. I mean, like there was just always something coming down the pike that would, like Nick at Night's Funniest Mom. I was in that. Like there would always be some little nugget that would keep me going, because y'all were out here doing big things, and New York and LA and everybody going and doing and but I would get a little nugget that would just keep me going.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds boring, but that's what happened.
No, well, that's what I'm curious about. Is like because like I said, you had this hunch, and you were like, I feel like I'm spun.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
I really did.
And I'm just curious as to what kept you going. Like and whether it is a little, you go like, I'm down to my last sort of nickel in terms of self-esteem, and then you get like a little, like you say something funny on the phone, or you say something that's just got like a little more kick. Yeah. And you're like, you know what? I'm pretty fucking funny.
Yeah. If it was in the McDonald's parking lot with a bunch of moms, or it's, at a soccer game or whatever, that kind of stuff kept me going.
Yeah. And people wouldn't believe it, but it's like, no. I know like a good spark from or just a regular thing. And you go like, okay.
I just knew I had something.
Yeah.
I just did. And I would always, and then I would think, is that egotistical? Is that wrong of me to think that? Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I don't. But I always had people in my life like Brian Dorfman at Zanies, who is now my concert promoter.
Great dude.
Wonderful.
Yep.
And is best friends with my manager, Judy. And he would say,
great. Also great dude.
Oh, no.
God. She was great.
But he would say, Leanne, I think you've got something. But he knew I wanted to raise my children. But I always had people that would help me. I always had people that believed in me. The people at the Cap City Comedy Club, Margie Huel, booked me for years when nobody else would.
Yeah.
And Brian would book me, and Stardome would book me in Birmingham, and but there was just little things that would keep me going. And in my mind, I would think, I'm going to Hollywood. And I'm going to be in movies.
I know. It's so funny because
crazy.
at 59, it's so charming and sweet. And at 25, I'd want to drown you in a pond. You know what I mean? But now I'm like, yeah, you were the same person, but now it's like, I'm rooting for it. It's like you made it at a point where every single person could root for you.
Thank you.
Which is great. Guys, I don't like spending a ton of time eating lunch. I just don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to have to go either. I don't even want to cook. I don't want to drive somewhere. I don't want to. If you're in an office, like, yeah, I get wanting to leave just to the office, but like I work at home, so I just want to keep doing whatever I'm doing. And Huel legitimately does that. And their Black Edition is a complete meal, so you feel full, focused, and ready for your day. Little prep, so you can just grab it and go, or grab it and go back to your computer, whatever you're doing for work. Huel's already sold over 500 million meals around the world, and now it's your turn to try it. New customers get 15% off at Huel.com HUEL.com when you use my code NEAL. So I use Huel Black Edition. I get bottles of Huel. I get the vanilla, shake that up, and I had literally one yesterday. So this is from the horse's mouth, guys. Huel is a perfectly balanced meal while saving you time, designed by experts to provide all the nutrients your body needs for a meal, and they taste delicious. I would highly recommend Huel. That's all I can say. Plus 27 vitamins and minerals. Start saving time and money without compromising your nutrition today with its exclusive offer for new customers of 15% off using my exclusive code NEAL at Huel, HUEL.com. Promo code Neal. Please see our description for terms and conditions. Skip the stress, but not the nutrition. Try Huel today for complete nutrition. Hey, I'm traveling constantly, and it is a pain in the butt of like, what do I need? What can I get through airport? How many out? Like, do I need hair stuff there? Am I going to be wearing a hat? Am I going to be going out? Should I bring my own soap? Because if you like the smell, whatever. You know who solved all this? Mando. They have a 4-in-1 acidified cleansing bar. Shampoo, face wash, body wash, and deodorant all in one bar. Also, it could work as a shaving lather. So if you need it, you have my permission to use it as a shaving lather. They're saying it would also work as that. I've never personally done it, but the point is it will simplify your entire hygiene routine. Like you just bring one thing instead of 4. Save space in your bag for fun stuff. I'm not going to say what fun stuff is. Whatever you want to do with the extra room, do it. Mando's got a sweat control deodorant stick, which I just started working 2 weeks ago. So far, so good. Smells as it's got the Mount Fuji, which you know I love. It stops odor before it starts. You can use it on underarms, but it's Mando, so you can use it really anywhere you want. It's not just like fragrancy. It stops the stuff that makes you stink, and it fights sweat. This isn't your average deodorant or antiperspirant. It combats sweat, stops odor, respects skin. You gotta respect the skin, and it does that. Long days outside in the summer, beach trips, mowing the lawn, golfing. Some people exercise. There are some people that exercise at the park. You know those weirdos. You know there's like 3 bars you can exercise with at the park. Maybe you're one of those people. I wouldn't put it past you. You got a physical job. You're grilling burgers in the heat. You've been outside in the hot. You know what? I could keep going. The point is, Mando holds up even in the heat. I've used it in Hawaii, LA, and Dallas. 0 issues every single place. I'm hooked on Mando. Show them the new picture, Will. That's the new Mando thing. For the best deals, go to shopmando.com. That's shopmando.com. Mando starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like mini body wash and deodorant wipes. Used one yesterday, and free shipping. As a special offer for our listeners, new customers get 20% off site-wide with our exclusive code. Use code NEAL at shopmando.com for 20% off site-wide plus free shipping. That's shopmando.com. Support our show and tell them we sent you. Mando's got you covered. Protect your pits. Smell great doing it. Mando. Living in...
a double wide, honey.
Oh, living in a double wide. Yes, go on. That's at the beginning.
That is in the beginning with little children. I was pregnant with my 3rd baby. Chuck Morgan. All right, this
Chuck
mobile
Morgan
home.
makes a good living.
Chuck
it sounds
Morgan
like
is an
he's
executive.
always
Yes.
made a good living.
He's always made a good living, and I got to give it to him. I didn't have to do a bunch of crap that other people had to do because I didn't have to make a living. So I didn't have to live in a Ford Festiva and spend the night and feature and all that kind of in the car. You know, I skipped a lot of bad
Chuck Morgan,
things.
in my understanding, makes a good living. Mm-hmm. Little tight.
Very tight with money.
Yeah.
And very frugal. And
Could
rides
have
with
lived
the,
in a triple wide, is what you could have lived in like
he has
something
no
better.
qualms with driving an old car. He does not care what other people think. That's the main thing about Chuck Morgan. He could care less.
Does that give you confidence in yourself? You're like, well, look at this goofball. No one. He doesn't care. Why should I care?
I know. Yeah, I mean, it made me mad at times because I drove a Honda Pilot for about 10 years. It was in bad shape. But, I mean, all the executives' wives, I mean, he works for a big company. He has done well. All the wives drove the fancy cars and did all that. He does not care what anybody else has. We have lived way under our means. And he has always had me on a budget. So this has been fun. It's been fun having a little power. If we want to talk about women empowerment, it's kind of been fun.
Well, can you talk about this?
That's been kind of fun.
I'm very curious about this because did you feel, not under his thumb or whatever, but like the deal is the deal?
Yes.
He's making the income.
Yes.
The rules are going. What's changed in terms of like spending? I mean, I've seen you make some pretty big Costco Sam's Club runs.
I have. They've got all the ski gloves. So if you're going to go and do all that this winter, go and get them. They're so much cheaper at Costco, and they've got long underwear. And I love a Costco. Oh, Neal. I don't want to, if I blow up and I'm famous, I don't want to not be able to go to the Costco. That would hurt my feelings.
It must be pretty close.
I can go to the Burbank one.
Which one?
The Burbank one.
Oh,
and I'll get a couple of people
okay.
say hey. But Knoxville Costco, I can't go anymore.
No.
People are expecting me to be there. But anyway, it's been nice to be able to
you have to go after
make
hours.
Some decisions.
No,
yeah.
Okay, so what do you give me some? What have you done?
I went and got those grandbabies a big swing set playground that does not splinter.
Great.
That was very expensive. Well, for a playground.
Installation?
And I did.
You paid for it?
And I got landscaping people to come and do the where you can fall and it won't hurt you, all that mulch or whatever with railroad ties around it. And that meant a lot to me. It really did.
10 grand?
Probably about that. Yeah. I hate to even say that.
I know, but
I mean, that's what I did. That was my biggest splurge at the beginning. Oprah asked me the other day. And then I am renovating a home. I've lived in the same house for over 20 years. I have lived in a double wide. Nothing's wrong with double wides. If you want to hear that story, I'll tell you about it. But I am renovating a home that I've got. My elderly parents are still living. My mom's in a wheelchair. My mother-in-law's on a walker. And this house has a tiny elevator where I can get them up, and I'm redoing a handicap area. It's going to be like a nursing home. But if they needed to come and live with me, and that makes me feel good, that kind of stuff.
A lot of railings?
A little bit next to the toilets. But Neal, if I were 20, if this had happened to me at 20, 30, 40, I would have done God knows what.
Yeah, what do you think you would have done? Do you think that
I would have liked a fancy car. I would have bought Chanel sunglasses that my friends had. I would have done some crazy mess.
And you think you use drugs?
No, I'm not a drug gal. I smoked cigarettes in the 80s. That was fun.
We all did. It was great.
It was so fun.
Yep.
I like a Diet Coke or a cup of coffee and a cigarette, but that's been long gone. No, I don't think I would have done dope. I don't. I'm scared of things. I tell you, when I started going through perimenopause, I craved wine. I went through a red wine thing, and I thought, I got to get off of this. And my first tour, the Big Panty Tour, I was drinking a little wine every night. And then
before you went on?
Yeah, and I thought, I don't want to do that. This is crazy. And then I wouldn't sleep at night because I'd be wallering in the bed because my blood vessels would expand. That's what happens to women my age, Neal. And then you can't sleep. And then you feel like death the next day. It's not worth it. But yeah, I went through a spell, but not... No, when I was working those clubs in a kitten hill with 3 little children, oh no, I would get a Diet Coke.
How spent would you get when you were doing shows in a kitten hill
it
with
was
3
hard.
children?
It was hard, and I tell you, when I would go back and forth to Austin, I would get them up for school
Was 2.5
at 6 a.m.
hours?
Yes, and then they would let me do the late show in San Antonio, which would be after midnight. Everybody was drunk and high on marijuana.
Crowd.
And I was getting up and talking about T-ball. Do what? What'd you say?
That's a good crowd. Late.
You like that?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh,
for a mom act.
All the men that worked there were doing Arnold Schwarzenegger impersonations. And I would get up and talk about T-ball and all this stuff that was happening in my life. But I stood out. I mean, I was different from everybody. But everybody was high, drunk. And I was like, oh.
So you drive home. Get 3 hours of sleep.
And then get them up for school. And Chuck traveled.
Would you?
It would be gone.
Did you have a babysitter? Mm-hmm. What did you resent at that point? Were you just like, this is what we're doing?
No, I was like, I'm having a ball and I love it and I've got to do it. And it's something in me from the time I started doing stand-up. I know it sounds great. I just had to do it. I loved it.
No, I'm with you.
And did you feel that pull?
Absolutely.
Like I'm just pulled to do this.
Yeah. Like I do it for free.
Yes.
And you do. Yeah. Interesting. And then double wide, what was the double? What do you think was happening in the double wide?
Okay. Chuck Morgan went through a little crisis. I mean, but he was still like 30 years old, had ran a business, owned a business, had payroll for all these people in his 20s. Nobody was buying their babies' diapers in the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains, so he'd buy everybody's diapers, felt responsible for everybody. He's very generous and giving. It got on his nerves. He said, I think I want to do something different. We sold everything. And I was a member of the country club in Morristown, Tennessee now, which was a big deal for me because I'm farming, and we didn't have swimming pools. So I was tickled to take my babies in matching bathing suits. I was having a good time. I was in junior reading circle, which is like junior league. I had a good life.
Sure.
He said, I'm selling everything, and we're moving to South Carolina I'm going to start a whole new thing, work for another company. We got there. It was a mistake. He knew it right away. We moved back. We didn't have anywhere to live. He goes, just trust me. His dad had taken over Refurbco, which was a refurbishing business. He goes, if you'll just trust me, Leanne, I'm going to flip this. We'll make money, buy another house. He moved me into a double wide that had been set on fire. Because somebody was repoing it from this people. They took a hammer and knocked all the sinks out and set the thing on fire. There were black marks up it. He said, we're putting new carpet in it. That carpet had been outside in the rain and weather. Put that indoor-outdoor carpet in that double wide. Moved me, and it was in the middle of a field. There were mice. There was a woman that lived behind me with a potbelly pig and I was big pregnant with Tess, my baby, and I would get out of the car and that potbelly pig would get loose and charge me. Now, it was not big, but still frightening.
Yeah. You're with child, for God's sake.
Oh, and I had two little toddlers, and I'd like throw them up into this double wide, and then I'd have to get up because Chuck forgot to put steps on it. Anyway, I'm driving. Well, that's a whole nother story. But anyway, I'm still in junior reading circle with all these women that are still at the country club and all that. We've hit, not kind of hard times. We're in a double wide that's been set on fire. And I remember going to a party, a Christmas party. I was big pregnant. And a woman said in front of everybody, are you still living in that trailer park? And I was pregnant, so I was emotional. And it embarrassed me. And then I went in the bathroom and I sneezed and I peed all over myself, Neal, because that's what you do when you're pregnant. And I remember just leaning up against that sink and thinking, how did I get here? I'm supposed to be in Hollywood.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember thinking that in someone's nice bathroom.
Yeah.
At this Christmas party. But when you say, have you ever felt isolated, lonely? That was a very lonely time for me. And Chuck Morgan was doing the best he could, and it's always been a wonderful provider. He did. He flipped it, made a bunch of money off of it.
The sad part is he probably had $200,000 in the bank at that point.
He probably did.
And didn't. It's not for you. It's for later.
Right. And the guy that sold us the satellite, put the satellite for cable out there, said, what are y'all doing out here? When I tell him what his income was, he goes, what are y'all doing out here? But anyway, Chuck I made Morgan. It through. It's part of my story.
It sure is. Okay. And then how did you find... Did you have an ego flare up at all in the last couple of years? Or is it even at this point, like, what a big ego for what?
I feel more imposter syndrome than I do anything. I really did during my first tour.
The first big tour?
Uh-huh. I thought... Because I know so many talented people.
Yeah.
And I thought, why am I getting this? And other people that have worked harder or better or whatever than I have. I went through that because I have fans, Neal, that say, you got me through chemo, or, my husband left me and I would sit and watch your videos at night. And that was a lot to carry, and it was sweet, but I thought, I'm not worthy because my fans are so precious. And and want to see me win. And I think, Neal, I'm in a lane by myself when you think about it.
Absolutely.
So these darling women out in the middle of the United States are cheering for me.
Yeah.
And blowing me kisses and giving me a standing ovation before I ever say a word.
Yeah.
So that kind of messed with my head. And I thought, I don't know if if I'm worthy of this. And I don't know. And so I went through, I probably should have gotten a therapist. And then I got,
Who do you think, not even there are people that deserve it as much as me. Are there people like you, friends with Jeff Foxworthy? I mean, are there people like Jeff deserves this? Or Larry the Cable, or Ron White, or Bill, or any of those? Are there people like do you see the people that had that or got that as like fundamentally better than you? Or is it just kind of like, because I don't, in terms of like looking at you from the outside in.
Well, thank you. I hope this doesn't sound egotistical, but I feel good now. I feel like I'm on that level and I'm there.
Yeah.
I don't know what was going through my head. It was just messed with my head. I don't even know how to explain it, but
no,
I guess
it seems
at
like a
first,
weird, like there's been a mix up or something.
Yes, and I also thought, why all of a sudden, after 25 years of doing this, is it different now? Mm-hmm. Like, it's just like somebody turned on a light in a room.
Yeah.
And I'm like a switch. Like, why all of a sudden does everybody treat me this way? And, it just messed with my head. But I've got a television series on Netflix, and I swear to you, I mean, it'll be out, this year, but I think every day it's like it's not even really happening to me. I pinch myself every day. It doesn't even feel real to me. So I don't think, I do get to where I do like to have somebody drive me. I do think I've gotten sissy about that. Yeah, I've gotten sissy about stuff. I took care of all these kids all this time. Yeah. Now I'm like, can somebody drive me to the so-and-so? That is, I'm getting kind of, I'm not saying Beyonce. I think you would ask my crew and they would say she's sweet. But I do need a little more pampering because I got to learn all this stuff and I've got to do all this stuff.
Well, you learned how to get pampered. Also, you saw what was available. And you go, oh, I didn't know I could get that. And it whatever, it's just a number on a settlement sheet.
Yes, and it's so nice to have somebody mail something for you that I don't have to go and mail things.
Yeah.
That was nifty.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, no one resents you for it because you put your time in. But as a person, as a fan, as like a because I'm interested what it must be like to go from. I was looking at my phone. Matt Rife texted me the other day. He asked if he could open for me 3 years ago. That's how like dumb show business is. That like he was literally like, "Hey, can I?" And then I was like, "It was 3 years ago."
That was 3 years ago.
Yeah, and now he's doing
arenas.
Basically, yeah. It's so dumb. It is so like turn the switch on. They don't know. They can chase crowds, but they can't really discern talent a lot of the time, I think. What do you think the spiritual lesson is in it for you or for a person? What do you make of it?
Well, without sounding sappy, I feel like that voice, that gut intuition, or whatever you call that, I call it God. Mm-hmm. But I feel like I've learned to listen to that. Every time I've listened to that, it works out for me. When I didn't, in the 80s, things went bad. Mm-hmm. But if I listen to that voice and I knowing that it's the truth, that's what has kept me going, and that's what sustains me. It does.
That's funny. It's we're in LA, so you go, sorry, but everywhere else, it's like everyone's way ahead of you. What do you think the difference is?
I have found that there are
I guess
precious
it's like,
people here
of
that
course.
are believers. Yeah.
Yeah. But I guess it's like I've come around to it. I like grew up Catholic and then left and then came back. But or came back to God. But
I've known that about you.
Yeah. So I'm curious as to, do you sort of hide it a little bit out here, or do you make a decision around it? Do you go like, I'll just kind of leave whatever faith stuff, or I call it God or whatever.
I know I've in my sitcom that we've shot, there's church scenes, there's
Great.
all that. And it's been, I've got wonderful writers, but, you know, they are not church-going people. So they don't know, just like if I tried to go write for a Russian family in New Jersey. I mean, you know, they've got to learn. But I have wanted that to be part of it. And I don't want to shy away from that. And I've found a church out here.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Great.
And
Scientology.
And I do care so very, very, very much.
And yeah, but I mean, you know, I'm 59 years old, but I've seen a lot and lived a lot and learned a lot, and I just feel like God has had his hand on me. And I don't mean that like he's made me famous. I don't mean that, but I feel like, you know, he has been with me, showed me, you know, put people in my path that have helped me. I can look back on that and think all that made sense. What happened? Those television deals didn't make it. I was meant to raise my family in Knoxville, Tennessee. I believe that.
Yeah.
I was not meant to be out here. I don't think I could have handled it. Maybe I would have gotten on dope, Neal. Maybe I would have, because I had found this out in L.A. How do these young people come out here and get this rejection and don't know where their next job's going to be? Actors. I don't know how they do it.
No, it's a terrible way to make a living. It's not a way to make a living. It is for like 15 people.
For 15 people. It's the same 15 people.
Yes. And then everybody else gets kind of humiliated. Yeah.
I don't think I could have handled that well, because I've gone through low self-esteem in my life. I would have, and as a young woman, it would have killed me. I think
how did it manifest yourself? Was it eating? What were you doing?
For what?
For
cope?
low self-esteem as a young woman.
I dated a bunch of people that were not good to me. I dated a bunch of ding-dongs, and I did. And I put up with crap I shouldn't have put up with. And yeah, that's probably it. Just let people treat me badly. That I would never let happen now. Now I don't think I can make, when I say I don't think I could make a bad decision, I wouldn't make a bad life decision.
Right.
But yeah, I have overeaten at times. I have. I could eat a chicken Ahoy in the van when a child goes off to college. Yes, I have. Instead of getting out and exercising, stop doing CrossFit, eat Chips Ahoy, watch Scandal, live through that couple that I think were really doing it. That kind of stuff.
The couple on Scandal?
Yeah. Kerry Washington.
and
Tony Goldwyn. Do you think, I mean, I don't think they're really doing it, but it felt like they were doing it. And I enjoyed it.
It's called chemistry.
It's called chemistry.
And we have it.
We do have
And there's
it,
nothing
Neal.
there's nothing you can do to stop it. What do you make of the rejection, the stuff about not being cool and not being, by the way, I don't think I'm cool either. Like, no one thinks they're cool. I know, it's stupid. Like, you go, no one, everyone's got imposter syndrome.
Well, let me tell you that Nate Bargatze is a good friend of mine, and I said, you're one of the cool kids. He goes, I've never felt like I was one of the cool kids. Like, I go, what are you talking about, you fool? He goes, I don't. I've never felt like that.
No.
Surely he does now.
He's probably starting to, but he's in such a cool thing now. At the Golden Globes, he still looks like he's wearing an Under Armour shirt. With his tits hanging out, or his silhouette of his tits. And what do you want for the rest of your life? What are your goals now?
I would like to do, I hope this show goes to a second season and on, as long as, I can do it. Because I want to be successful.
Do you want to go to a second season so you can do it better? Or,
yes. I feel like.
How was your, talk to me about what the learning curve was.
I thought I was having a heart attack. I think I told you that on the phone
when
we talked. It was very difficult. When I got out here, I thought, what have I done? Because it was so much pressure. There was a director that I don't think is a wonderful director, but not for new actors. And I came out here thinking, well, Ray Romano did it, Roseanne did it, Tim Allen did. I always heard that their pilots and all that, that everybody was terrible at first, and then they got better. And Ray Romano can do anything now.
Yeah.
And I love him. And I thought, well, they know that I'm a comedian. That I don't have any acting class. And they didn't want me to take acting classes because they don't want to change me. And they wanted me to be natural. But it was a lot to learn. All that blocking.
Yeah.
And here, pick up that cup of coffee and then say that line as you put it in the, and I'm like, what? But learning lines, and I do have comedy timing. I had that. I knew I had that. If I can get in front of a live audience, that helps me. But that in front of I wanted to do a single cam. I really did. And then Netflix wanted me to do a multicam. And single cam, I did one movie with Reese Witherspoon and Will Ferrell, and Rory Scovel played my brother, and Fortune Feimster was in it. And they would say to me,
Directed by the great Nick Stoller.
And the great Nick Stoller.
Great guy.
From heaven. But when nobody was laughing, and in my ding dong mind, I thought, and Fortune would go, I know it's in your head, Leanne. People they can't laugh. But all that was, messed with my head. So I do know I'm better in a I think that's what I'm supposed to be doing.
I would agree.
But yes, it was hard. And everybody, it's either people would say, oh, you're a star, or they're looking at you like, I don't know if you can really do this. And there's nothing in between. And it just messes with your head.
And then it's like hour to hour, too.
Yeah.
You're a star at 2, and at 3, it's like, I don't know, honey.
Yeah, nobody speaks to you at Crafty. So it's up and down, and that was hard for me because I've been out here.
Well,
on the road.
That's what I was wondering about. It's like, does being 59 and having lived a lot of life kind of make it like bearable?
I think so.
Yeah.
And I think if I were 40, 30, if this had happened to me when I thought it was going to happen to me, I would be hysterical. I don't think I could have handled it. And now, and I want to do well. Don't get me wrong. I want to do well, and I love these people. I love everybody. I want to do well for them. I want everybody to have jobs. But I can go and do stand. I'm okay if this doesn't work. But I don't even know what I was saying.
I guess it's just what was it like?
It's very scary. But Jerry Seinfeld called me. We talked about it. And he said, Leanne, I promise you, you're going to feel like you're going to walk on that set one day and it'll feel like home. He said, I didn't want to do a multicam. I didn't like multicams. He goes, I did it so I could sell tickets in a club. And then he busted out laughing. He goes, can you believe that? That's what I thought. I thought, well, maybe I can sell some tickets in a club if I do one. But he said, I eventually, it felt like home to me, and it will to you. And so it kind of does now to me. I mean, I'm kind of sad that it's over. I'm ready to go home, and I want to be with my family and all that. But but I've gotten used to it, and I think I can be good at it. I don't think I'm there yet. I mean, I think we've done a wonderful job. I really do. I think we got a darling show with heart and funny and all that. And I think I did pretty well for doing it for my first time.
I bet you'll know the difference, and the audience won't in the second season. You'll be like, I'm in it. And the audience will be like, it's the same.
Maybe.
That's generally, in my experience, it's like, I thought Ray Romano was great from the pilot.
You did?
Yeah. I remember seeing him being like, he's great. And I'm sure it's like you're already it. You can do it. You're like, you're it now. Do you know what I mean? So it's just, as long as you don't act crazy.
Yeah.
As long as you don't clam up, which I'm assuming when the audience is there, you're just like,
yeah.
Were you better? Was there the thing where rehearsals were pretty good, then the audience would get there and you'd get like
nervous and torn up,
but also better?
Yes.
Yeah.
Both. I've been at the beginning, I would be so nervous. I'd be back there, deep breathing and thinking, oh my God. And then now I look forward to them coming because I think I can. It just gives me energy. I'm still nervous.
Yeah, of course.
And about to die, but it helps me when they come. And I can hear them and they're chatty and we sell out every time people are coming. And I mean, I don't know, they may be walking off the street trying to audition for all I know. But I'm on the stage where Friends was shot.
Great. And
that's been nifty.
Yeah.
But, and also, I mean, it's been a nice break from being on the road. I don't want to say it's easy for me, but I've just been doing stand-up so long that feels like home to me.
Stand-up.
Being in the theater, yeah.
Yep.
And, but
do you do a bus?
No. I don't. I've never done a bus. I've ridden on Nate's with him.
Yeah.
But, logistically, they just make it to where I don't have to.
Great.
And
Yeah,
I do
you
worry about
got
my
it
head
all.
being cut off. When they tell you, put your feet at the front.
You gotta not think about it. That's my experience. You just can't think about it.
Well, no wonder Loretta Lynn got hooked on pills. I mean, I would be hooked on pills if I were young, having to make a living for all those kids she had with Dew, and she's riding a bus and trying to, calm down at night. Mm-hmm. Because, you go back to a hotel room and you can't sleep. If I were on a bus,
Well,
worried about
your
my head
age, your
getting cut
veins
off.
are doing stuff.
Do what?
Your veins are doing stuff at your age. It's a nightmare. Sweetheart, I'm so glad you did this, and I'm sure everyone knew all about you anyway. But
No, they didn't, because you've got the cool kids, Neal.
You'd be surprised. Maybe a couple cool kids, but Leanne Morgan is the best. And watch her I'm Every Woman special on Netflix. Do not watch the Hulu one.
Do not,
Because
I don't like my hair color.
Kitty wedge. Is that the kitty wedge? What are you wearing on that one?
Oh, a wedge heel that I just was not cute. It cut me off at the ankle. And then I also had a thyroid nodule that was out of control too. And I can see it, and my choker gets caught on it. Now everybody's going to go watch it. But that was dry bar, and I was not prepared for that. Watch my I'm Every Woman, and then please watch my new series and binge watch it. They told me it helps with that darn algorithm, and watch it like vacuum
Leave it on. Leave it on.
And vacuum.
Please. And then do my special as well. Leave it on.
Oh yes, you doll from heaven. You doll from heaven.
The best. We're gonna cut camera so you can give me a nice big kiss on the mouth. Away from the prying eyes of old Chuck.